Hey my friends, welcome back to Frog Boy X1 Gaming and Tech Reviews. I'm Andrew, and today, guys, I've been thinking, is 4K a scam? And this was all brought on today. I was listening to, Digital Foundry's little podcast thing that they were doing today, and they were talking about the Steam Machine. And so, yeah, we're talking about the Steam Machine again. Because I've been actually putting a lot of thought into this, because I was like, okay, Frog, do you really want to die on this 8 gigabyte hill, or do you really want to, continue to show these products off that are, according to the great ones in the community, pretty much obsolete and stuff like that. And then I got to thinking, I'm like, well, is 4K kind of a scam? And I look at that because when you're out there right now, especially in the PC space right now, guys, I mean, we've got RAM prices that have literally doubled. I was looking on there because I got this 9600X. It's just the base 9600X, 6-core, 12-thread CPU that we're going to be doing a giveaway on the channel. So get subscribed if you want to participate in that. We'll be doing something. I want to try to get this shipped out before December 21st. So we're trying to grow the channel, and I want to start doing this kind of stuff every so often. Because what was happening is I got this, and then I was going to throw in a motherboard. I was going to get an Asus TUF motherboard as well, and a RAM kit, because I was going to upgrade somebody from where they're at right now. I was gonna upgrade somebody, in the community, just because of all the support and incredible, growth that we've had on the channel. And I just wanted to do something. I just wanted to do something nice. I wanted to get back to the community and, start doing this kind of stuff every once in a while, because you guys really do make my life awesome. And, because of you, I get to try out new things. I get to buy new stuff. I get to experience things that I never would have tried to experience in my life. And so when I started thinking about this, because I just bought that Asus monitor, and I'm going to link that because it's on sale again at Amazon for $449 if you're interested in this monitor. It's a 4K monitor that also does 1080p. It's got a dual mode. It's got a hot swap button on the back of it. You hit that button, it throws you into 1080p mode, and then you can get even more FPS and just, oh gosh, these monitors are so incredible, my friends. Ever since I bought that LG one, they're just incredible. And so I pose this question is more of like is 4K really the best? Is it the best? Is it the best investment for us gamers at this current time, because we're looking at these prices for RAM going up. Like right now is the best time to buy a freaking GPU. If you want a GPU, we got a lot of them hitting freaking MSRP. You can grab these GPUs right now, because we don't know if the prices are going to go back up. I mean, if RAM prices are doubling, I'm pretty sure video memory is going to start doubling here pretty soon too. You might want to try to grab some SSDs if you can before prices on those drastically jump up too, man. It's right now is in, it's kind of always like this. There's always one component on your PC that's going to be jacked up in price, and it's almost like they flip a coin or draw straws, and to see which one. Okay, well, this generation, which part are we going to completely rip people off for? And it sucks. It sucks. It really does suck. But right now, motherboards are freaking cheap. Everything is basically cheap except for the memory. And so, like I was saying, I wanted to get, a whole kit. I wanted to do all that. But 4K, guys, right now. And this leads me back to this whole freaking Steam machine. Valve's bringing out this box, okay? 16 gigs of system RAM, 8 gigs of VRAM. And you know me, man. I got that RTX 5050. I just got done testing out that RX 580. And I look at these experiences, okay? As a gamer, two other gamers, we're all gamers. And yes, some of us are very, very bougie. Okay, I'm bougie. I like my 4K. I like my, You know, I like my 4K, I like my ultra wide, I like my visuals, I like my HDR, I like all of it, okay? Like I'm a bougie gamer, I admit that. Like I 100% admit that. But I'm also not so far out of touch that I can't jump on 1080p and play 1080p games. Like I'm not that out of touch, and I don't think you should be either. Especially like right now. Especially right now, or especially anytime. Like you should always be able to, you should always be able to play the games you want to play, however you want to play them. And Digital Foundry, you know, I still listen to them because I like them. I like John, and I like Rich. I like Alex too, even though he's like really prissy. he's pretty prissy. He's pretty bougie too. So it is what it is, man. We all have our quirks. We all have our little things that we absolutely love in PC gaming, and it's like, dude, we can all play games and look at stuff and find stuff that we're like, ooh, I wish that was different. I don't think that's ever going to change. I don't think that's ever going to change. And so I look at what Valve's doing right now with this Steam machine, okay? They're like building out this whole ecosystem. And if developers support 8 gigabytes, guys, you just got to look at this as a whole, okay? If we're looking at the baseline continuing to be 8 gigabytes, I mean, you're watching all of these studios close left and right. You're watching all of this developmental budget just going into 4K. They got to build higher quality assets. They got to do this. They got to have better, you know, full motion videos, everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's just gotten so expensive to try to chase 4K. And we look at that and we see these games flop. And then, you know, even Ubisoft, something about coming out today and saying, hey, people are buying less games. They're just not buying them like they used to. And well, yeah, you raise your price to $70. That's more money that people got to pay. That's, you know, for every seven games, that's a whole nother game that they're missing out on. So yeah, raising the price is only making it harder for people to buy games. And, you know, you look at that, and then you look at something like what Steam is doing, okay? Steam, bringing out this 8 gigabyte machine. And I know I'm talking in circles. I get that. I'm trying to just keep my mind on the one thing, you know, but I started this video. Okay. Steam machine, 8 gigs of VRAM. I played a lot of games at 8 gigabytes this generation, you know? I mean, everybody was out there trashing 8 gigabyte GPUs. And if everybody's doing it and everybody's chiming in and it just sounds like they're rage baiting people, you know, Froggy's got to try. You know, Froggy's got to test the waters. You know, Froggy's got to see if it's, because guys, I got to see if it's true or not. And I've had this thing, you know, because once you start a YouTube channel and you start doing things and you're like, okay, and you're kind of watching like the trend and stuff, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of watching how things go. And it's like everything goes in a roller coaster on YouTube. And that's why I've just literally tried to stick to putting out content that I want to make. Like I can't chase the little fads, dude. And I'm not going to just sit and regurgitate what everybody else says all the time. And so I personally took it upon myself to spend my own money to buy 8 gigabyte GPUs. And I tested them. And you know, because I have a dual mode monitor, I got that incredible Scepter ultra wide 1080p monitor. I got that other Asus 1080p monitor. And I'm sitting here, you know, and I bought the 1080p monitors for my ROG Ally so that I could, you know, just, you know, put it on a big screen and play, you know, test that out that way. Because it's easier to capture. It's easier to capture footage if I do that. And so I bought the first 1080p monitor for that. And then, you know, I reached out to Scepter. They sent me that ultra wide, which is incredible. And now I've got these other dual modes that do 4K and 1080p. So look, guys, I'm telling you, there's something fishy going on in the PC space. And I don't think it's to protect you as the consumer. Like, I don't think anybody's here to protect you as a consumer at this point. Like, I just don't believe that. I want to believe that these guys are community first, corporation second, but you know what? It's not like they're showing you bad products though. That's the thing. It's like, that Asus monitor, absolutely incredible. That LG, absolutely incredible. If you've got the money to power 4K, power 4K. but they also give you the ability to essentially freaking future-proof yourself. Like future-proof yourself. You started out you're using it as 1080p, and then when you get to a point where you can use 4K, boom, upgrade to 4K. $449 for this monitor right now. That is an absolute freaking steal for the quality. Dude, I've been loving that monitor so much that I've literally tried to get on it like every day. Like I'm finally on the freaking 9070 XT because I'm gonna play some Arc Raiders with my friend at work. But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about this freaking Steam machine after listening to some of that talk from Digital Foundry, you know, and they're still kind of just banging on about the 8 gigabytes, and Alex Battaglia is acting all put out and like, oh, I may try it, I may not try it. It's like, dude, people want to know how this thing is going to work, and like people are like writing in and asking him questions. Is he going to be able to add that to the benchmarks? And he's like just kind of snobby, like, well, maybe I'll look at it, and maybe if I'll just try my optimized settings on it. And it's like, bro, why don't we ever see like these optimized settings for AMD or anything like that? And it's almost like the industry as a whole just kind of shudders at the fact that like AMD is actually a freaking pretty good brand. I mean, are they perfect? No, they're not freaking perfect, but it's like every product that comes out with AMD in it, powered by AMD, they'll be like, oh yeah, it's cool for the clicks, and then they move away, and then they go right back to covering the stuff that they want to cover, and that's fine. I'm not saying that's anything bad. They don't have to. They don't have to cover AMD. They don't have to do a damn thing. They don't. That's why I'm here. That's why I exist, because I cover the products that nobody else wants to cover, because I'm human just like everybody else, man. I just want a good product that works good, that I can enjoy. And you know what, man? Honestly, I don't know what it is. I don't know why I cling to Xbox. I don't know why I cling to AMD. I don't even understand it myself. Like I just don't, you know? It's like I get on AMD and I'm starstruck. I get on the 5090 and I'm starstruck. This is the first generation that I'm like, damn, dude, Blackwell's amazing, RDNA 4 is amazing. They both really look really well. Somebody reached out to me today and asked me, hey, Frog, DLSS 4 versus FSR 4, how big of a difference? And I'm like, and no bullshit, guys, like I literally have to zoom in to see a massive difference. I do. Like it's just not that massive. But yes, NVIDIA supports significantly more games with DLSS 4 and DLSS, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm glad that NVIDIA found a way to continue to provide support for their older GPUs, like I am, man, because that is so massive for the consumer, and I do applaud them for that. Like, hell yeah, man. And I rewarded them for that too. I rewarded them for that. They brought it. I bought a 40 series pre-built. I bought almost every single 50 series card you could buy. The only one I didn't test is the 5070. And so I look at that. I look at the freaking Steam machine, 8 gigabytes. And I listen to these guys and the way they just pontificate about how bad 8 gigabytes is and how it's not going to be good in the future and stuff like that. And I sit here and I think about this, you know, I ponder this. I'm like, look, 1080p is pretty easy to hit. You can usually hit 1080p even on that RX 580. I had zero issues hitting 1080p on that GPU and running good settings, using new features like FSR3 and frame generation and all of that stuff on the 580. And that got me thinking, you know, I'm looking at this Valve Steam machine, and I know they're marketing it as 4K 60. I get that, like I understand that. And while before I would have been mad, honestly, I would have been mad before, knowing what I know right now. I would have been mad. I would have been like, oh man, this thing's a piece of junk. It's garbage. It's not worth buying. There's no place in the market for this 4K, blah, 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 4K. Okay. That's where I would have been. And that was my attitude probably for a while after this console generation launched and we started getting, you know, lower resolution and stuff on the new consoles, and I was starting to get mad. But now I look at this as more of a as more of an opportunity for gamers to be able to come in, to get a fixed hardware, you know, box that plays PC games. And I obviously the future's moving toward that. Xbox is doing it. Sony will probably find a way to do it. You've got OEMs that are going to be building Steam OS. You've got OEMs that are going to be building Xbox OS. That's the future. Big old freaking supercomputers with discrete GPUs. I think you're going to see that kind of go less and less and less. And I feel like this is my honest opinion, and this is why I've been thinking about it. I've literally been thinking about this. I really do believe that hardware manufacturers and Xbox and game developers, I really do kind of think they're trying to reset the whole thing. Like they're trying to reset the whole thing. They've watched, you know, the angry YouTubers come out and bash every game they put out. So I really do believe that there's like a massive reset that's going on right now. You see that like Unreal Engine 5 games run absolutely fine on 8GB GPUs. You don't even have to lower it all the way to low settings. You can usually use like medium and a combination of high settings to actually run UE5 games on 8GB GPUs. Yeah, you're gonna have to turn off the lumen, the ray tracing stuff, whatever. It's not a problem. They still look incredible at 1080p. They still have good textures. They still have good quality. They still have good shadows and lighting and stuff like that. So it's like you look at that and you see how it's funny, okay? Because Xbox Series S, everybody said this thing's not gonna, this thing's trash, but it runs all these Unreal Engine 5 games, no problem. So you get these UE5 games, and they make it so freaking scalable. They make that engine so scalable that it scales down to lower end hardware and scales all the way up. And it scales all the way up. Now, I was able to play UE5 games on that RX 580, and that's essentially Xbox One X power in GPU form. That is 6.2 teraflops of GCN power, which is right close to equivalent to the Xbox One X. And so I look at this, I look at that, and I'm like, okay, well, they told us that old hardware wouldn't run UE5, but here I am on old hardware running UE5. So it does run, but it does need faster storage to run UE5 better. And then you have all these custom UE5 engines that are coming out, like Assetto Corsa Rally coming out with a gosh dang it, with a custom UE5. You've got Arc Raiders, custom UE5, and you watch how these games run significantly better when they're custom, when they customize them and they fix it. When you're just running UE out of the box, you do have to play with the settings. Even on high-end hardware like RTX 5090, you can get a bad experience, but if you turn down the right settings like global illumination and some of that other stuff, it usually straightens it right out, like no problem. And yes, I know. Well, we shouldn't have to do that on a 2006. I'm right there with you, brother. We shouldn't. But we do. And would you rather them build these games with future hardware in mind, or build them to spec that we have right now so that we don't ever get to move forward with that? So I guess is what I'm saying is like, if Valve can pull this off, okay, bring out the Steam OS, launch freaking Half-Life 3 with it, and seed the market, you know, think like Digital Foundry said in their thing today, if they can get those 1650 guys to upgrade, you know, the 1060 bros, the people that are still on older hardware, if they can provide them an upgrade path that can seriously, you know, at least hang good with these newer games, and developers start treating that 8GB as like, look guys, we're just going to keep supporting this, but we need newer architecture for like the ray tracing. We need at least RDNA 3. We need, you know, at least 20 series GPUs from NVIDIA, so that we can target that level of GPU to bring new features to make games, you know, a little bit better. Like, I'm perfectly okay with that. Like, I'm not against 8GB being the entry level, like, you know, like custom, you know, handhelds, custom, just custom. You got to look at it from this point of view. And like I said, when I was reviewing the RTX 5050 and 5060 and 9060 XT, 8GB cards, is there are literally thousands upon thousands of games that'll play absolutely incredible on that. Are you going to play Indiana Jones on the 8GB card? Yes, you actually can. You can play that. Like I played a bunch of that on the RTX 5050 and the 5060. Yes, you can play that game. And it was actually, it didn't look bad. Even at low settings, I was like, wow, this actually still looks pretty good. There might be games that you won't be able to play. And, you know, thankfully Steam has a 2-hour return policy, man. If like you buy a game and you can't play it, then you're stuck with 2 options. Either upgrade your gear or return the game. Get your money back. Wait until you're in a better position to actually buy and play that game, man. It's one of those things where I don't think as a community we need to be trashing. I don't think we need to trash this stuff, man. Like I really don't. I feel like 8GB is more than sufficient. And it's in my mind, and this is the way I see it, I'm like, look, at least they're still making an affordable option. You look at right now, we have 16GB cards in the 60 class. 5060 Ti 16GB, 9060 XT 16GB. These cards are $300 to $400. Are they worth that? Yeah, I think they're worth it. $400 for a 16GB GPU? Yeah, sounds fine. Sounds fine to me. You know, if you go back and you look across time and you're like, oh yeah, I remember when I could get a 3GB GPU for $240 or $149. Look, guys, I know that it's not a massive cost for the GPU manufacturers to throw another 8 gigs on there. It's like 20, 30, $40. But they gotta, I mean, the more VRAM they throw on the card, the longer the card lasts, the less likely they are to sell you another card sooner. So they would like to probably just meet you halfway. Instead of charging you $500 for the card, they charge you $400 for the card or $350 for the card. Look, if you bought a 9060 XT 16GB right now, that card's gonna last you a while. If you buy an 8GB card, might only last you a couple years. Might last you 2-3 years, depending on the games you play. That's the difference. That's the biggest point is, hey, can you be okay with an 8GB GPU? Are you gonna play esports games? Are you gonna play RTS games? What kind of games are you gonna play that's gonna require you to use that much power? And so when I look at Steam Machine, this might sound a little bit, this might sound a little backwards, but I kind of wish that developers would support, you know, have 8GB as kind of like that base level, you know. I mean, I look at games like Assassin's Creed Shadows, a massive open world game, lots of detail, beautiful when you got it maxed out on a 5090. And then I look at the way it played on an RTX 5050. And I'm like, okay, you know, you look at some of the bigger games. Massive open world games that came out last generation, Red Dead Redemption 2, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I love open world games, and they seem to run just fine on an 8GB GPU, so I'm perfectly okay with that being an entry-level thing. You got to understand, most of the stuff that's using above and beyond 8GB are ray-traced heavy games. And that's fine if you've got the hardware. If you've got the hardware, you can run that, you know, and trust me, man, like, sometimes it's just worth it. Like I said the other day, sometimes it's just worth it. If you really, if that's your thing, like if you're like, oh my gosh, because I remember I used to just buy games. Like there was a time, I mean, for a while, man, I would literally buy games to look at the visuals. Seriously, I didn't have time to play them, but I was like, man, I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see the new visuals. And, you know, I started kind of going down that road. Like when I started this channel, that's where I was. I was like peak. I want 4K, beautiful visuals, blah, blah, blah. Like I was peak. But now that I'm actually like having the time to play games and do things and run the channel and check things out more, things are a lot better now. Things are a lot better now. I'm actually starting to get back to a point where it's like, all right, man, I don't necessarily need the most beautiful visuals. I want a combination of better performance and visuals. And PC gives me that ability to do that. And Steam Machine coming out, we don't know if it's going to be affordable or not. We don't really know anything. But I'm grateful that I will get to check it out at CES before it even comes out. So at least I'll be able to give you some kind of information as to what I was able to see and experience, and then give you a little bit more information before it comes out. But guys, this whole constant looking for everything there is to just bash every product into, you know, it's really destructive, man. Like, I get it, dude. Like, live service games have really taken over a lot in gaming. And, you know, we got a lot of my favorite studios are really starting to struggle because of that, because they just, you know, not as many people have the time to play a 60, 70 hour Assassin's Creed game. But I love those. I love those. And I will play them. Like, I'll play them. I'll buy them. I'll play them. I'll enjoy them. You know, but there's a lot of people out there that are just like, man, I only got a couple hours tonight. I'm just going to jump into a game of Fortnite or hit some Arc Raiders or do something like this, you know. And that's fine too. That's fine too. And, you know, it really does kind of hurt the industry. I really do wish that these guys would just go back to like charging like $49.99 for their games. They all go on sale within like 6 months anyways. They might as well just sell them for $49.99 so they can actually sell enough copies, because I guarantee it, if you see a $49.99, you're more likely to buy that game, and you're less likely to be as uppity if there's things wrong with that. Like, you're probably not going to be as like, because I mean, look at Arc Raiders, $40. This game is absolutely freaking incredible. I guarantee I'll probably end up putting as much time in this game as I do my Assassin's Creed games, because I love playing it. Like, I love jumping in there with the community, with my friends at work. I love being in this world because it is actually fun to play, just like my Ubisoft games. And so I look at that and I'm like, look, guys, if these developers would just lower the price, they would sell more copies, they would break even, and they would get less pushback. It would take the wind right out of the sails of the little freaking clickbaiters that are out there. Because you know what? $70? Most people are like, yeah, it better be damn good. And then you got clickbaiters out there bashing the games, destroying everything before they even come out. And they're not even going to play these games anyways. And then when they come out, nobody buys them because they're like, oh man. And then they end up buying them later when they're cheaper anyways. So what's the point? Why try to push a $70 game when you already know that, yeah, most people are probably not going to buy. And I can understand like games like GTA 6 coming out at a high price. I mean, there's obviously games that can pull that off, but not everyone has the, yeah, I just don't know. And so look, man, I'm hoping that Steam Machine can be that piece of hardware that everybody comes together, supports it, builds their games for it, and like really treats it like a device that is a baseline type device. You know, I wish they would actually support the handhelds. I wish they would legit build games to run good on that fixed hardware. I don't know, man. Like, I get to a point where it's like, I just want to play games and I just want to have fun, and I want them to keep being made. That's where I'm at. Like, I just want games to keep being made. I just want hardware to keep being made. I just want hardware to be good enough. And so I asked that question again. Is 4K not necessarily a scam, but is it a trap? It's more of a trap for your mind, a trap for your wallet, a trap. It's kind of a trap. It looks good, and yeah, it's absolutely worth it. But at the same time, 1080p, 1440p, both incredible options, both affordable options, and both still look fine. They still look fine, and you can power those with 8 freaking gigabytes. 8 gigabytes of video RAM. it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I really wish that the world would, I don't know, man. Like maybe I am too simplistic, but that's fine, dude. That's me. Like I'm having fun. I'm having fun. I'm playing games. I'm having the best time ever. So guys, like I said at the beginning, we're going to be doing a giveaway for this. I haven't decided if I'm going to get the motherboard and RAM kit yet, but this will be going out by the 21st of December. Try to get it to you before Christmas. In the United States, I think this might actually be a United States thing. I just haven't completely figured it all out yet to know. But get subscribed. If you're not subscribed, subscribe for your chance to win this. I was going to do it a member only thing, but I think we're just going to do this as a community. We're gonna you know just you know comment in the videos, comment under the videos, make yourself known, and we're gonna figure out a way to like get this to somebody that needs it. Like I want to be able to give it to somebody that needs it. So just get in here, start freaking, you know, subscribe, and let's find a way to do this. So all right, guys, and if you have any suggestions, let me know. I'll definitely read them. And have a good night, my friends. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.